So, welcome back to the Walking Dead review. New camera angle, HD camera. I don't believe I used it the last time I did a Walking Dead review. So yeah. Always remember, spoilers. What else? Yeah, spoilers. There's gonna be spoilers from past episodes, comic book. Pretty much it. So if you have not caught up to both of those, I recommend not watching this until you do. So it's your fair warning. This week I'm doing it. It's gonna be a shorter episode. I'm doing it without the recap. I'm just gonna cover major, major scenes, I guess. It was a fantastic episode. Really more of the late season 2 you saw out of this. Not much action, which I didn't expect much action. I keep looking at my screen. I don't have the recap up. It's like a big screen, and I can see my face on it right now. It's like 23 inches. Don't actually have mine. But yeah, it starts off. Daryl and Merle, they do live. They didn't think they were gonna die. Haley, the terrible name girl, whatever you want to call her, dies. Nothing important there. Funny fact with that scene is everybody started running past Rick and Maggie when they were running out, which is just weird, seeing that they kind of had the person advantage on them. Kind of a funny little thing there. But they bust out. Then from there, I think probably maybe the second biggest thing of this episode, Daryl leaves the group. You can argue it for being the big part. But really, the ending of this episode was the big, more focal point of the episode, which is a big game changer. But yeah, Daryl goes with Merle. Glenn and Rick in an argument. Maggie is quite silent. What else? So yeah, they go back to the prison and let Daryl go. You gotta let him go. He did so much for the group. Glenn's not happy about it. Back to Woodbury. This is the day after, I think. Let's see. Gotta clear my throat. So yeah, you see them at Woodbury. Everybody wants to leave now. Andre just comes out and just like, no, not me. Martinez, who I thought had a deeper voice, she gets pretty angry. And then behind him, there's walkers from the early day because Merle opened up one of the fence gate openings and walkers got through. Reminder, there was Heinz Ward in this episode. He's playing a walker. I think Merle killed him. Nice little fact there. Sorry for the focusing thing. It does that. But yeah. But the person gets bit, so they know they're walkers in there. Governor, who's hiding away in his office after the attack, he's kind of just like, fuck everybody. Comes out, shoots the guy, and then leaves. And goes back to his office. Like, nonchalant. Nothing happened, no big deal, just shot a guy that they might have saved, but I doubt it. And Wilbur just scale goes higher from how much pissed off they are. There's a little bit more for Woodbury, but that just sets the tone there. Rick returns to the prison, tells Carol that Daryl's not there. She's kind of upset, but not. She wasn't as upset as I thought she would have been. They get the pretty much prison scene. They just meet him outside pretty much, and they had this really awkward scene with Beth giving Rick a kiss. It was weird. But the actor that plays Beth is 27, which is kind of mind blowing if you ask me. But yeah, he just had the whole scene where he pretty much explains what happened to Daryl and Oscar. Actually, I don't know if he explained to Oscar. I think he did, might have. Also, before this, they had a scene with Alan, Ben, Tyrese, and Sasha where they wanted to overthrow, but Tyrese completely shut that down. Alan was the key guy to that. I forgot about that. There wasn't really I guess it shows how Tyrese is, I guess. You also learn about their story. They actually traveled from Jacksonville, I believe. So from Florida to West Georgia, I believe. Not that far, but they said they kind of had the same problems as Rick's group, but you really don't know. So yeah, I skipped over that. Gotta think, because I don't have the recap up. Like, I just can't be like, boom, remember the episode. I remember the key parts. But yeah, pretty much. And then you go back to Woodbury. Andrea just kind of confronts the governor, pretty much spills it all that he knows that he calls them Glenn, Maggie were alive, they captured him. And this is where Andrea, you could see her start turning, that she finds that her friends are alive. And the governor just calls her a visitor, which is funny. She gets really pissed off about that. Milton comes in and tells them that they're going to, everybody in the Woodbury wants to leave. Milton's a very awkward character. I feel bad for him, though. But then they have a speech. Andrea comes out, tells them funerals. Typical Andrea. One second she wants to leave, next second she doesn't. She's big flip-flop, if you ask me. But she gives them a speech about how Woodbury's gonna be in the history books for when this plague ends. If you listen to the comic books, read the comic books, I should say, you kinda got a lot more time to go. So yeah. And it's just, Talking Dead is on right now. Oh, another scene I want to talk about is Glenn beating the shit out of that zombie with his foot. He's a very angry man. Definitely changed from last episode. He's a very angry man, and he's not happy with Rick. So I should point that out. What else? I'm watching, big screen here, and then over there. I'm trying to remember the episode at the same time. So yeah, I think Woodbury at this point is finished. But Andrea had his speech, pretty much. Then Rick gets into prison, finds out about Tyrese's group. Also, this episode is a big thing for Carol. She kind of reminisces, sorry if I pronounce it wrong, on her past about Ed, Sophia. They spread out throughout the episode, and you see, there was a lot of new mixed character interactions. Beth and Carol, Rick and Glenn. Like, you could say it's a different one, but like the way it was. Maggie and Daryl, nah, actually not. I don't know. You can argue for that. And it's that's pretty much. And then, Rick comes out. You see Axel says some stuff about Oscar. And then the big scene, the most important scene, arguable, like I said. You see Rick go out there and they're about to. It's a very powerful scene. If you watched it, you can tell what I mean by it. But pretty much Rick's in front, Tyrese is in front. They're looking at each other. Both groups are in behind. I'm talking everybody from the group except for the ones that are not currently at the prison. And Tyrese says he'll do anything to get in the group. Rick keeps denying him. And then you see Laurie. My new PC just goes off like every time. I think it's my phone. My phone's down low. But yeah, he sees Laurie in a gown, a nightgown or something, I don't know, but he starts hallucinating. This is the first time he's hallucinated in front of anybody. And this is why this scene is important for, the rest of the season. He turns around, he sees her, he keeps turning around, he's crying, he's, panicking, he starts pulling out his gun. Tyrese is like, whoa, man. Like, the guy who plays Tyrese was on, The Wire. If you never watched The Wire, you should. It's been voted the top TV show ever. You should give it a roll. One of these days I will. But yeah, he's like, they left. I don't know what happens to them. I'm pretty sure they end up somehow back at the prison. But yeah, Rick, this is the first time you see him have hallucinations in front of people. Everybody thinks he's yelling at Tyrese's group, but you get that feeling when Carl, Maggie, Glenn were talking to him and he had no response. He just kept pointing his gun in the air. He's like, whoa. Stupid face. But he loses it pretty much in front of all those people. First time. No one knows what's going on. Tyrese's group just is gone out the door. I seriously doubt they end up just leaving. Glenn will probably go get him or something. But yeah, that's pretty much for the episode. I know it's a short video. I don't have the recap up, so it would be a little bit longer. The important things for this episode were pretty much Daryl going with Merle. I'm pretty sure they end up back in prison. We didn't see him after the rest of the episode for that. People are going to be mad about that, but I understand why not. Rick hallucinating in front of the group. That's where this... If you didn't watch my prediction video for the second half, that was a couple months ago, I said that Rick's leadership would be questioned. I think this is when we start seeing that he's hallucinating in front of people. I've said this a lot. But yeah, two key things in here is the governor is... He can't really explain what's going on in his head. He's just... Now he's at war. He's no longer encouraging people to have fun. It's no longer a town. It's a... They're starting to... The result of... what is it? The result of Rick's group showing up and attacking them has really set the governor away from this just being a town to now they're living in a dangerous world and they cannot have any more fun. Rick, like I said, hallucinating again, and Daryl leaving. So those are important things for the episode. Not really big comic book things in this. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any big ones. But yeah, that was pretty much for the episode. It was a fantastic episode. It was a very nice, startup, pretty much. I didn't expect anything major. But you can call the hallucination major because he pretty much, shows the state he's in to everybody now. Which in the comic books, he doesn't hallucinate when at the prison because spoiler for the comic book, Laurie dies at the end of the prison arc, and he starts hallucinating, and I don't think anybody finds out. Maybe Carl does, I believe, only Carl, but everybody knows now. They might not know and be like, what the hell is that? But you gotta know. But what else? So yeah, that's the end of the episode, dog. I'm gonna talk about the promo and kind of like predictions. So if you want to stick around for that, if you're not a promo or prediction type of guy for the next episode, I recommend leaving at this point. And thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and see you next week. So now into the promo. You see kind of an aftermath of this. You see Glenn is really pissed off. There's a part where you see him with body armor on. He says, "Are you going?" And Herschel asks him, "Are you going after the governor?" If you watched comic books, you know Tyrese goes after the governor. A lot of people have been speculating that Glenn might die this season, which I don't think would be good for the series, really, because comic book spoiler. This is actually one of the recent ones, so we've had like 5 seconds. Glenn dies. In way past the prison arc in the comic books. But yeah, he just based off the promos, I think the prison group and the Woodbury group are just kind of breaking apart. They'll come back together at some point, but I think there's a scene also we see Glenn say to Michonne, "We can end this now." So it really is leading to the Tyrese scene from the comic books where he chases the governor. I really hope that doesn't happen to Glenn. If it does, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, it's going to mean a lot. Also, you see Rick with his hair down and everything. He's really lost it at this point, I would believe. Episode 10, which is named Home. Which, if you don't know by now, Morgan's going to show up. I'm not sure if episode 10 is it anymore, but they could lead to that. There's also Glenn Mazzara sent an interview. There's an episode where Rick tries to cope with his sanity, tries to hold on to it. So, interesting coming up. But yeah, pretty much that's for next week's promo. You see Rick's completely lost it, I think, at this point, and Glenn might be going after the governor, or even Tyrese's group, or even Daryl. I don't know at this point. Or Merle, really, actually. I forgot about that completely, but so yeah, that's pretty much from the promo. Like I said, I don't have the recap or the promo with me, so I really don't have a good source of info at this point. I don't watch the episode, remember every single thing, and the promo, every single thing. Also, one more thing, there's a forum I use called Spoil the Dead. Very good forum if you're looking for good discussions during the episode. If you're looking for the promos, they usually use promos for Spanish promos, Italian promos. You could find every promo on there. You could find spoilers if you really want to. I tend to stay away from those unless they're just little dinky ones. But very good website. I will link it below, and I definitely recommend you going to it. There's also another one named Roamers and Lurkers, if you're interested in one just about discussion, no really big spoilers. But thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and ladies, I hope you guys enjoyed if you are watching it. I'll see you next week with episode 10 review, Home. So all links below. You know the drill. Twitter. Comment below what you thought about the episode. Anything I could add to the videos that can make them more discussionable, entertain. I don't know. Talk about something out, like, give thoughts on, I'll take any feedback. So thanks for watching, and I will hope to see you next week.